Global Affairs analyst Michael Bosicki joins me now. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me, Lynda.
So $61 billion is a significant sum, about the equivalent to what the US has already given Ukraine since Russia's invasion. What can that buy in Ukraine's war effort?
Sure. Well, hopefully it'll buy an end to the war. And what I mean by that, it'll send a deterring signal to Mr. Putin that he can't go on bombing Ukraine relentlessly and then going after more sovereign territory. But what the Ukrainians have stated repeatedly over the past few months is they need this $61 billion for a number of things, mostly ammunition, shells, air defense systems, deep strike rockets, and other critical needs. Also, there is provisions in this legislation for money to go to budget support. At the moment, since the start of the war, Ukraine has been facing a $5 billion a month budget deficit. So this will help, for example, pay teacher salaries and pensions. And then there's a smaller part for humanitarian aid. One more critical thing for people to remember is that a lot of this money will actually stay in the United States. It'll go to pay for restocking of weapons and ammunition that the U.S. actually gives to Ukraine. So, that's down the road. It'll create new jobs and wealth. So it's a win-win, I think, for everybody.
And Michael, this aid package was pretty similar to what the Democrats put forward months ago, although far-right Republicans delayed it. At what cost to Ukraine?
Enormous cost. I mean, in the months that were wasted and false situation created by MAGA Republicans, what has happened is Russia has basically had more time to dig in with more defense lines. They've had more time to restock their stockpiles of rockets from friends like North Korea, time to get more drones from friends like Iran. It's so sad. I'm mostly based in Ukraine, and I see in front of my eyes what's happening. Cities like Kharkiv and now Odessa being heavily struck. Kharkiv is being leveled very, very badly. And then the other thing is the countless deaths, of course, soldiers and civilians. And then the fear that is struck into people. A lot of people are now deciding whether to stay or go. That's how bad the Russian assaults are right now.
Yeah. But crucially, of course, this bill does include measures that will allow for the selling off of frozen Russian assets to fund the war effort. Is Europe likely to follow suit?
Yeah, I think this will be kind of a starting pistol for Europe. I think they needed a bit of a wake-up call. So for the United Kingdom and the EU to also go after the tens of billions of frozen Russian sovereign assets there. A lot of interest has accumulated over 2 years, so that should be given to Ukraine for defense needs. And also lots and lots of Russian assets in places like London, yachts in places like Italy and elsewhere. Those need to be, they're now seized, but they need to be sold and the money given to Ukraine. So it's a very, very good signal for that, but also a good signal for Europe to proceed more with providing ammunition and other military needs to Ukraine.
Of course, this $61 billion for Ukraine was part of a $95 billion foreign aid package, which also included aid for Taiwan and Israel. We know that the U.S. continues to rack up debt. The U.S. Treasury Department says it's about $35 trillion right now. Is this approach sustainable going forward?
Yeah, I think so. But I think the administration or whoever is going to be in power in November needs to do a better narrative in terms of convincing American taxpayers why this is needed. The key line there should be, if we don't pay now, we're going to pay a lot more later, not only in terms of providing military support to Ukraine, but also in terms of human lives. Mr. Putin will go further. He has a long track record of that. He won't be finished with Ukraine. Baltic states, and I think Poland too, are in the crosshairs. And of course, if a NATO country is attacked, that'll trigger provisions that NATO forces, including the United States, have to get involved. Just quickly, this is a real deal, the money that has gone so far, because Ukraine has so far managed to destroy about 50% of conventional Russian military capability and about 25–30% of the Black Sea fleet.
Michael Bosicki, always great to get your analysis. Thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.